What do you think? Do you have any experiences with methods like meditation or self-hypnosis or EFT to try and become more confident, and do these methods work in any way?
I would say that I have a couple of clients like mentioned to me things like NLP, EFT, and so on, or even hypnosis itself. And I personally do not have direct experience with things methods like hypnosis and EFT, which I think is the emotional freeing technique. I personally do not have direct experience with those techniques, but at the same time, I think that all these various techniques are just different means to achieve the same outcome, which is say better confidence, decluttering, a clearer mind. So I think all these are different means. I don't think it's necessary for someone to use all these tools. Just use whatever is comfortable for you, whatever is best for you in achieving your goal, which is confidence here. Yep.
Yeah. So the most important thing is to take action, because anyone who's watching right now or who's listening to this, they're probably lacking confidence and maybe a bit low on self-esteem, and they don't know where to start. So what is your advice? Where would you tell someone to start right now to start building a self-esteem?
Okay, I would definitely say the three steps that I recommended just now are very simple, easy steps anyone can use. So firstly, ask yourself what is your self-confidence on the scale of 1 to 10. And then if it's not a 10, ask yourself what are the 2 to 3 big reasons why it's not a 10 right now. Then the third step would then be to drill down into why these factors are necessary prerequisites for the person to feel confident. So, for example, like I mentioned earlier in the interview about my example with inferiority with regards to my forehead and my ears in the past. So I sort of just lived that way without ever questioning that for like a decade. And it was only recently when I started drilling to that I realized, hey, my low self-confidence with regards to the certain parts of my face was only because of those 2 to 3 comments made when I was a child, which had nothing to do with my looks, and it should have nothing to do with myself or my confidence or how good I looked. And then it was then understanding that erroneous belief that I formed as a child and breaking that I suddenly obtained liberation. Like I was no longer conscious about my forehead or ears or whatever. Like I'm growing out my fringe for the first time in my life, and yeah, and I realized all these are just really beliefs at the end of the day. And as long as you address the erroneous beliefs in your system and you replace them with empowering beliefs, the right beliefs that really help you to feel better about yourself and they empower you, then yeah, I think that's the key thing.
Yeah, I really like how you shared that example. It's about those limiting beliefs and those bad conceptions that you have in your mind about yourself that you've come to believe to be true. And the difficult part is actually realizing this and then understanding that it actually doesn't matter what other people think of you. And when you think about it, like you say, there's only two or three or maybe 10 people who told you this out of all the hundreds and thousands of people you've interacted with every single day for the last 10 years of your life, you know? And to get this realization, it just opens your eyes and you understand, like, wow, why was I so unconfident all these times? Why was my self-esteem so low? Because I believed these people, and it's kind of like that. So what you've just said is how you need to sit down and you need to analyze the areas of your life where you're not confident and then try and understand why it is. And most of the time you'll just find, like you said, it's just some limiting belief or some idea that or some comment that someone told you when you were younger, and it just kind of stuck with you. And you realize actually when you think about it logically that it doesn't make any sense and that it shouldn't affect you in any way. So that is perfect advice. That's where I would recommend that you would start. So is there anything else you
Thank
would
you.
like to share with us, Celeste, before
Uh,
we end this off?
Sure. I would say to add on to your point just now, Diggy, I would say whenever the person feels like there is an area that he or she is not confident in, then that usually represents that there's an underlying belief that's not addressed. So the easiest way to drill down into this is to keep asking yourself, why do I not feel confident? Like what is blocking me? And then drill down from there. So I think the whole um telling yourself affirming and just sort of embedding your mind with affirmations like, oh, I'm confident doesn't really address the issue. I mean, I know that affirmations do work for certain people, but I feel that consistently doing this and then still having that nagging feeling that there's something amiss is not the right approach. You should definitely self-examine and self-explore to understand what is it that's preventing you from feeling confident. Because I definitely think that all of us, no matter who you are or what you do, in your natural state, you are a confident, beautiful person. Okay, if there's any reason why you don't feel that way, it's only because of certain things that's blocking you inside. So you just have to address that, break that erroneous bond or erroneous belief, and then you will return to your natural state, which is a person who is incredibly confident, self-aware, self-assured, and conscious.
Okay, thank you very much, Celeste, for that. It was really like perfect advice. I think it's excellent. Everyone who's watching, definitely visit Celeste's blog at personalexcellence.co. Subscribe to her newsletter. She puts out excellent articles every week, and it's definitely worth following because you can learn a lot from her. We'll be in touch soon, Celeste. Thank you for taking the time for this interview, and goodbye.
Thanks so much, Diggy, for having me, and thanks everyone for viewing the interview. Bye.